Welcome back for another lesson in Mr. Dunn's art room. So you're missing the value worksheet, the only worksheet for the whole year. It's pretty simple, so if you're at home stuck, you'll need someone to bring it home to you. Looks like this. You can see that right off from the bat. And it's got 2 pages to it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera down and get right to it. We did have a half-hour discussion on value. That's what this is all about. Shading, basically, light and dark, and had some words and some terms you'll need to get into your little starter book and dictionary of terms for this class before the test. So be aware of that when you come back. But we're going to get right to the project because that's what takes all the time. Okay? Okay, so here's the first page. It's pretty straightforward. They're asking you to shade from left to right. Dark each section and getting a little lighter, lighter. Okay? So this is where having those pencils for art come in handy. So you can use a B, anything with a B is going to be pretty soft, and you can get these down, and maybe even to here. Then you switch over to an H, or an HB, which is the middle. Move over here, then anything with an H past 5 will be a hard lead pencil. You can get it in there. Rub that out, smooth it out. So we want to see it change, gradually changing. This can be pure black, this could be pure white. Okay. The second page, this is how you do that. So cross-hatching is basically just straight lines. Remember that? We talked about it already. Underline. So you're going to go this way, then you crisscross this way, then go this way. All right? 2 ways to get lighter is to push softer, don't push as hard, and also have more space between your lines. We'll let more of the white paper come through. And so it'll get lighter and lighter as it goes across. Don't rub that out because you want to show the cross-hatching because that's texture. The next one we will rub. Again, you want to go this way, so lay it all down, getting softer and softer as you go. Notice the bars are gone, so it's a constant change, a smooth gradient from left to right, dark to light. Then once you get it all down from all the way out to the end, then you can rub and smooth that all out. So you have a soft change effect. Here it's just, again, same thing, straight lines, so you start dark. Right? Getting lighter and lighter. Lighter and lighter and lighter, all the way out to the end. Don't rub that out, we want the lines. We want to see the lines. Here's curly Q value. Okay, down here they have curls, and why all these different things? So I was just showing my students this picture I had drawn in the past on my book, and so you have soft shading here where it's rubbed out and smooth. You have line shadows here, creates texture, right? Here's those wavy ones, those squiggly ones, look like bark on this tree. So these different kinds of shading can create different kinds of texture and different feels on your paper. All right, so starting dark here, and you get lighter and lighter and lighter as you go across. Don't push as hard, just slowly release the pressure as you go across. That's the only one that you really go like that with. And don't scribble, here's what I was talking about here. Don't scribble it like that because this is just as dark as down here. It's not getting any lighter when you scribble this way. You have to scribble up and down to make the slow change. Okay. Then they take that, whoops. Take that and put it to the test. So we did this in class today. So the ball really should be the last one we do, but it's shading by numbers. So 2 is the highlight. It's white. We're going to leave it white. 3 is getting a little darker. 4 a little darker. 5, there's no 5 here. We just jumped to 7. And then 8 is the darkest. So there's the 5 right down here. Okay? So I like to shade from dark to light. So I'm going to show you on this one here. So the 7's my darkest number, biggest number, and I'm going to go to a 2 and back darker. 2 is going to be my lightest part, like here, light, right? Like there. So 2 being the highlight. Get all the way up into here. So that's going to push hard there, and then slowly release. Kind of pretend like these lines aren't there. They're just guiding you, because pretty soon you won't have that. Otherwise it's very faceted, it has facets. Getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Down to the 2, and then we'll darken it up on the 3 a little bit there. Okay. And this stuff you do want to rub out. If you lose your white, you can always come back and your highlight, hit it with an eraser, and you want to clean up your bottom there. Okay? That's what you're doing. So on the circle, just a matter of being dark in my 7, getting lighter. These are some big areas, so you got to be aware that this side of the 4 should be darker than this side of the 4. This side of the 3 is darker than up here where it's lighter, right? So it's rounded, so it's constantly changing. I get students who make this solid black, this middle gray, and this really light, and it looks like it's got corners on it, right? It makes what we call a hard edge. If you, right here, this is a hard edge, this is dark, fading out that way, and this is going to be lighter, right? Okay, so that's what we call a hard edge, and it makes a corner. So you don't want that on your circle where you've got, you know, dark and then suddenly light. It looks like the ball was cut off. You have the bright light hitting all this, and this is rounding away. Okay, constantly changing. And then again, you go the other way with it, dark, getting lighter and lighter and lighter to the 5 is still, you know, pretty dark. But we go to an 8, which is really dark down here. Okay, so let's look at these 3. This was dark here, getting lighter and lighter to the white. Lunchtime. Okay, so this was darker, getting lighter to the white, and back to a little darker. So let's look at shadows on these 3. Okay, so they say it's an 8 here and a 3 out here, so we know it's getting lighter as it goes out. What you don't want to draw is a line for the shadow. That's what I'm saying here. Do not draw a line out here. It's going to fade away and fade away and fade away and just be gone, right? You start with the core shadow. This is the darkest place, right up against the core here. And you get this center part dark, and you can kind of go in a circle like this. Ding, 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 out and out, out, and just lighter and lighter, and then darker and darker. It's going to get darker as it comes to the edge here. The only part that will be a sharp line is against the objects. That might be a sharp line, and then it just fades away to softness. So then you can rub that out, and it's darkest here, lighter there. That's what we try to accomplish here. Dark up underneath the ball, but lighter as it goes out. It just fades. So you're going to go from black to white. Don't suddenly change right on that line they gave you. Ignore that line. Fading, fading, fading. Right? Fading, fading. You can do this circle thing too. Okay. Fading, fading. So it fades out just right off to nothing. This line won't be here in the future. Cool? So this one too, so here's one I can do from the beginning. I haven't done that yet. So it's getting this core dark. Then after that it's going to fade lighter and lighter everywhere. Break that off. Okay. Let it fade there. Ta-da. Just like that. We talked about, you can see that. Can you see the shadow of the pencil? There. So it's sharp up by the corner of the pencil, the shadow, but as it gets further out, it gets fuzzier and fuzzier. That's what we're kind of talking about. So here I would draw a little streak of line that's solid, then it just gets fuzzy. And then the box. A lot of numbers on here. Don't get too worried about that. They're very subtle differences. Just know that this is the lightest. Well, they've got the light down here. They're saying this is the lightest. But I want you to put the light up here, okay? This is the lightest. This is a little bit darker, and this is the farthest, the shadow side, okay? And they want it lighter here, so when you have a contrast between the 8 and 8. So don't make these both 8. You do want to lighten up this one here. So that we're going to get a little bit lighter down there. Okay? We can put, maybe think of it as 2 sides being pretty dark. Because wherever dark meets light, it looks darker than it is. So where this meets here, this looks darker and this actually looks lighter. And a lot of people will put a streak of white right there, a highlight, to create that effect that it's actually getting lighter, but it's not. If you block it all like that, it's all the same, but when you show it, it looks lighter. So by creating the streak, we recreate that effect. Okay, this will be the lightest one up here. Rub that out. Let's see what we got here. Soften it all up. Okay. That's not working well. Okay, I think this should be darker. There we go. Wherever it meets white paper, it's nice if it's a little darker. Helps create the effect if this is dark against white. So there's your cube. I think this could be darker. Alright. I'm letting this stay a little lighter down there. And then the shadow. Alright. Really dark. Core shadow, getting lighter as it goes out. Lighter. Lighter and lighter. Dark in here. Lighter. And lighter as it goes out. I overlapped there so it looks darker. Here it would be sharp, and then it would get lighter as it goes out. I gotta go over it a couple times, get rid of the sudden changes. Right there, I want it to fade. And rubbing takes care of the rest. Ta-da! That's what you're trying to accomplish. If you want to freeze that right there and look at it while you work on yours, that'd be a good idea. The last page. Alright, everyone wants to copy this. Do not copy these. This is photocopied, so it's terrible. You want to draw this out on here, but then you want to shade it like you learned back here on this last page. You want to shade them like these. Okay? So let me draw. Can make a cylinder. The top is an oval. Come down a little bit. Alright. The bottom is also kind of curved. We had the ball in here. You've got, bring this down. Got the box. Here's going to do a three-dimensional box. Oops. Let's come a little further then. Oh, I'm stuck. Yeah. Okay. These up and down lines want to be straight up and down. Parallel these two. Parallel this one. And you get a diamond shape for the top. Okay? I'm losing my pencil. Then you got a cone here. Okay? Curves around there. There you go. So draw that out, but then shade it like the last page. Okay? So we're going pretty dark right here. And getting lighter and lighter to the side. Again, dark here. Gonna get lighter and lighter as we go around to our white. And get a little darker there. Alright? Fill in our blank spots. We can get our edges with the eraser. The top. Pretty light. There you go. Again, the box. Almost use a dirty finger to get the top. Call it good. Sometimes you go two directions, we'll make it darker. Cross hatching, 3 ways. I like that about there. Right. And then really dark, which is going to pop out our ball here. Ta-da. Maybe it still feels a little light. There we go. Pull our little corner out. Okay. Checking these lines up. I'm going to save the ball for last. This is the darkest part. Gonna come right there. Right. Need that to be dark so it pops off of this. And we'll start to fade it off. Light's coming around from the other side. That's up and down. Oops. Lighter and lighter. Let's come over here, over here. Get rid of any sudden changes. Alright, soften it all up. And get the dark right to the point there. Gonna erase it. Smear it a little bit. Let's pop this off here. How's that look? Okay. You can even get some lighter in there. The ball. So there's my core circle. The lightest is going to be right up here. Because our light, I'm saying that the light is here. Okay? Like that. And get a little bit lighter as it goes down to the back. Do the same thing this way. Lighter, lighter, circle. Get rid of this little change here. And dark down there. Cool, and then smooth it all out. Don't kill your white. You can darken up your circle. There you go. Ta-da! No shadows, as you can see, but if you wanted to one, remember we talked about getting dark here, getting lighter and lighter as you go out. Do it like a circle, oval. All right. Rub that out. Ta-da. Maybe it's like that. You have the stuff like that. And that's what you're trying to accomplish. If you want to freeze that, look at that while you work on yours, that could be good. There you go. Good luck. Have a nice day.